Protective styling. Set it and forget it so you can protect those ends, right? If only it were that simple. I'm Michelle from Fine Natural Hair and Faith. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you're not. And today is the fourth video in the series, Fine Hair, Doing It Better. If this is your first video, check the description box down below and you will see a link to the playlist for the 3 videos that precede this one. If you hear a little bit of like weird shaking noise in the background, we are actually having a storm, but I did not want to delay this video in the series. It's a super important video, so please try your best if you hear it to just block it out, because I'm honestly a little nervous because I live on the water and it is storming and the winds are really at it, but that's not the point of this video. So protective styling is a lot more than tucking your ends away and forgetting it until wash day. First off, you need to think about when you protective style your hair, what is going on up under there between the time that you take it down. You need to think about how you're handling it to actually set that style. And you also need to think about how much manipulation is it going to take to remove the style as well as install it. So before we get into some tips on protective styling, let's talk about the goal for protective styling. There's actually a number of goals that you would want to achieve with protective styling. One of those goals is to preserve your ends to retain length. Now, we all know that if you put those ends away, you tuck them away, you can retain more length. But how does that happen? For starters, while your ends are tucked away, you want to make sure that your ends are moisturized. Like the style that I have in today, it's not cute. It's not, I mean, it's okay, but I work from home. And so because I work from home, I can hop on a Zoom call and or a WebEx, and this is perfectly presentable. And I'm okay with that. I can transition this to go out if I want to be a little bit more cute by adding some hair jewelry. But the point of protective styling, the goal is really not just to be cute, although you can make your styles cute. Another major goal of protective styling is to completely protect your ends from the environment. That is harsh temperatures, that is your clothing. There's just so many ways that your ends can be frayed and aged before their time if you leave them out all the time. I'm not saying that you should never wear your hair out. I mean, what is the fun in that? But if you're working on a length goal or you're working on just keeping your ends healthy, you definitely want to protective style. Now, there's a number of other goals for protective styling, which I'm not going to cover in this video. However, I do mention it in my new ebook, which is about this whole series on fine hair doing it better. There's a chapter on each section that goes into even more depth than the videos that I've shared. Of course, the book also includes the tips I've shared in the videos, but there's additional tips that I didn't mention. So if that's something that interests you and you want to get your hands on it, you'll find it linked down below. So when it comes to fine hair, as we talk about protective styling, what you need to understand is, or what I would like to convey, is that it's not about the length of time that you protective style. It's about the quality of your protective style. In fact, the less you do to get that protective style done, the better. In addition to that, you want to make sure that your protective styles don't last too long, because fine hair is very, very, very prone to tangling on itself even when it is up. One thing I would like to point out is that when I protective style my hair, I do like to blow it out. I found that there is a big difference in protective styling my hair in its naturally curly state, either right out of the shower or when it's just curly and dry, than when I stretch my hair out, which I use a Revere hair dryer, and then set the style. This particular style is actually not blown out hair, but you don't see my natural curl pattern. And the reason for that is that I did a henna. That has nothing to do with the topic of protective styling. I'm just mentioning it because I just wanted you to know. But as far as when I typically protective style my hair, I do like to blow it out, because here's the thing. When you take that protective style down, if you do it with your hair in its totally naturally curly state, or if you do it in a manner where your roots aren't like completely detangled because it's in its natural state, then it's going to be actually a little bit more tedious to detangle. I find that if I blow my hair out and I set my protective style, especially if I'm doing twists or large braids, when I take it down, it is so much easier to detangle. So I like to blow my hair out. Obviously, it's not a necessity. This is just a tip of mine. The key to really effective protective styling of fine hair is to make sure that they're pretty short term, no more than 2 weeks, honestly. I've seen some beautiful protective styles, and let me tell you, it is just like mind-blowing sometimes when I look at the intricacies of these styles, the beautiful braids, the twists, how they're like overlapped and pinned. And I realize though, I'm not doing that to my hair. As beautiful as that is, it requires a lot of manipulation to put in. And so if you haven't figured it out by now, the best protective styles are the ones that don't require a lot of manipulation. You want to make sure that they are short term, no more than 2 weeks. And you don't want to neglect your hair while it's in the protective style. So for example, let's say this style that I'm rocking right here. In a couple of days, I'm going to take my hair down. I'm going to examine my ends. And if I need to, I'm going to add some moisture. If my ends still feel pretty good, which they might because I have it wrapped and the moisture is kind of like sealed in and then I have butter on it, then I won't mess with my ends. But what I will do is I will oil my scalp. I will do my scalp massages. And so that is really the point of like when you're protective styling, you don't want to neglect your hair and you don't want to neglect your scalp. Regardless to the protective style that you do within these obviously parameters, you want to be able to take that style down after maybe 3 days at least, at most, and attend to your scalp and your hair. Then you can just reset the style. Buns are great for this. Flat twists are great for this. Sometimes, depending on how many flat twists you have, you don't have to take it completely down and you can oil your scalp. In the book that I mentioned, that I just wrote, my first book ever, but it's very thorough, I do share a number of protective styles that work really, really well at maintaining length and that are really low manipulation as well as low maintenance. Here is one of them. So that's it for this video. I hope these tips on protective styling will help you to protective style your fine hair better. Thank you so much for watching this series. I hope you found it helpful. There is just so much that I loved sharing with you guys, and I appreciate all of your support, be it that you buy the book or just even watching the videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope you found this helpful. Starting in the next video, I'm going to do a few hairstyle tutorials for you guys. Again, my hairstyles are based on very low manipulation, and when I do the hairstyle, I actually keep it in for days at a time. I will tie my hair down at night, and then I will leave the hair, until the hairstyle until the next wash day, which typically I do wash once a week. Every now and again, I will wash, I wash every 2 weeks. I used to wash every week, but I wash every 2 weeks now. But sometimes I will, like if I use a lot of product or if I use a lot of edge control, I may wash after a week. But basically, next few videos is going to be some quick little tutorials on ways I style my hair. Some will be protective, most will be protective, but there is one style that someone requested that I share how I did it with you all. And it was the style that I had done for my son's birthday party, and that is this style right here. So I will do a demo of how I did that style, how I set it, and I will catch you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a very blessed day. If you're new here and you're not a subscriber, I hope you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. But otherwise, I will catch you in the next video. God bless.